Hey, what's up, everybody? Wanted to do a quick video where I show you how to add liquidity to some of these Uniswap pools. A lot of you have asked me to do a video on this with all these new, with all these new pools with Leo and LeoStrategy, and obviously all the LeoStrategy pools are on Base, so the Base blockchain, and they're all on Uniswap as the DEX, which is obviously tradable through LeoDex. So all of this stuff very interconnected. And to add liquidity to these pools, it's actually super easy. So what you'll do is you'll go to Uniswap and then obviously go to the pool link. So in this case, I'm going to add to the tokenized gold pool. So literally 20 minutes ago, the pre-sale ended for tokenized gold, and now we're in the process of getting all the seed liquidity into these things. So I am seeding the tokenized gold pool. I'm also doing it because you get the 10% APR boost for life if you add liquidity in the next 48 hours. So it basically the base pre-sale. If you bought the base pre-sale and then you add liquidity after the pre-sale in that 48-hour window, which literally just started, you will get a 10% added yield on top of your tokenized gold. So you'll actually be earning yield in three ways. You'll be earning the regular TGLD yield that you get every day. You'll be earning the LP incentives, which is basically swap fees every time someone swaps in the pool. And then you'll also be earning the 10% extra APR for being a part of the pre-sale and adding liquidity. So that's how the base side works. Without further ado, I'm going to add some liquidity. So I click add liquidity from the pool page, and now I'm on the add liquidity page. So you can choose the fee tier. I recommend going in the one that has the highest TVL, which basically means that you're adding to the same pool. If you choose a different fee tier, it's actually going to create a new pool. So I recommend choosing the fee tier that is the highest TVL, which will be the default 0.3%. So here, I'm going to click tokenize gold here because what you'll see in the current price, it either prices it from USDC to TGLD or it'll do it from TGLD to USDC. Obviously, I just think doing it this way is a little bit easier to understand, visually. So the minimum price I'm going to set, I'm going to set, and this is the thing about concentrated liquidity pools. So you can either add the full range, and this is how most normal liquidity pools work, where it will just add your liquidity across the whole range band. I recommend watching a video on concentrated liquidity pools as it's kind of a deep dive. Too much for this video. But since this is a concentrated liquidity pool, we can add it in a custom range. And I see that I'm kind of blocking this. You can basically set your own range of liquidity, which makes your liquidity more efficient. So in my opinion, and I looked at the gold price, I don't think, gold is going to drop. And obviously we're looking at GLD, but it tracks the gold price. I don't think GLD is going to go down below $200. So I'm going to set my minimum at $2 because tokenized gold is 1/100th of GLD. So I don't expect tokenized gold to go down below $2 because I don't expect GLD to go down below 200. And I also don't think that it's going to go beyond $600 in terms of GLD anytime soon. Could it? For sure. Probably in the long run. Obviously, it's gold. It's going to go up over long periods of time. But at least for now, and I'm going to move my camera over to this side just so you can see what I'm doing. At least for now, I don't think that gold is going to go above $600. So we're going to add it in this range. I'm adding about $4,000. I already did a small liquidity add, but I'm going to add the rest of this here. So you'll see I've got 3940 USDC, and it's saying 802.403 tokenized gold, and I'm just doing some quick math here to see how much this tokenized gold is worth. So it's about $4,000 worth of USDC against $3,000 worth of tokenized gold that I'm adding to this pool. And the reason why it's asymmetric, and I'm actually technically adding more USDC to the pool than tokenized gold, is because of the range. So if you change this range at all, like if I change this to 1, you'll see that the amount of tokenized gold actually goes down that I need to add. Because relative to the USDC, it's basically setting my range below the pool price. So you can play around with this. I'm honestly considering playing around with it even while we're here, just because I want to kind of add it in equal parts. Let's see here, 1172 times 3.76. That is much closer maybe I'm going to do 2.25, best of both worlds. 962.527. Don't you love on-air math? 3,600. All right, well, I'm going to have to do it uneven. 2.3. So if I go down to $2.35, you'll notice I'm just playing with the minimum price right now. 1038.012 times 3.76 gives me 39.02. That is very close to even. So basically, by choosing a tick on the minimum and maximum that are pretty much equal parts away from the pool price, you can get it so that it's a 50-50 add. In order to get the boost on the pre-sale, you have to add USDC and tokenized gold. So if you choose a range where you're not adding USDC, then I believe your position won't count for the 10% boost. So just keep that in mind. I'm keeping mine as even as possible. So if you want to just copy what I'm doing and make it really easy, I think that I really doubt that gold is going to go below 235 in terms of GLD. The last time it was down there was October of last year. Obviously, if it trends down to that level, you can always just change your ticks. But I don't believe it'll go down that low, to be honest. And I don't think it's going to go above $600 anytime soon. So what you want to do is pick a range where your liquidity is going to stay active, but you don't want to go too broad because then your liquidity gets spread out. So it's kind of this little bit of game theory where you're like, the closer you can get your ticks without going out of range, the better you're going to perform in terms of being an LP. So I'm going to do this, and I can obviously monitor it in real time and see if I want to change it at all. So I'm going to create this liquidity pool position, and you can't see this part, but I'm using Kepler, which is extension, and it's just popping me up with the confirmations. So it just did all of that. You can see all my different positions here and all the different assets. I have quite a few of them. And I actually have two. You can see I have two different USDC and tokenized gold positions. But this is the one we just opened. It's not showing the, let's see here. Oh, no, that's my Tesla one. Ignore that. Here we go. $8,000. So you see I just added roughly $8,000 to the pool. So I've got, and this was the math you saw me doing. I wanted to add it in equal parts. So I've got 3,940 USDC and $3,908 worth of tokenized gold is my liquidity pair here. So since I just added this liquidity, I am now eligible for the 10% boost because I added it in this 48-hour window. So when you're seeing this video, you'll have about 48 hours to add liquidity on base. LeoStrategy is not going to open the bridge for bridging from Hive Engine to base until after the 48-hour window. The reason why is because the base boost is intended for only the buyers of the base presale, similar to how the Hive Engine boost is intended only for the buyers of the Hive Engine side of the presale. So really interesting the way they've structured this presale. I put out some threads. I believe this is going to be the most successful post-sale launch of any LeoStrategy asset. There are many reasons that I believe that. I think that they learned a lot from the last few launches, and they took all those learnings and then applied them to this launch. So the mechanics are a little bit different. They introduced staking and they introduced boosts, and they also reduced the immediate discount that you get when you buy into the presale. So by doing those things, they essentially turned everyone who buys the presale into hodlers as opposed to flippers. So can you still make some money flipping? Yeah, you can, but you only make a few percent. And it's actually, it makes a lot more sense to buy and stake or buy an LP in this case, and earn those boosts for life. Because these boosts apply forever or until you un-LP or unstake. So basically, I get a 10% boost on my tokenized gold yield here. And I'll keep getting that 10% boost until the day I un-LP from this pool, which I don't intend to do. So basically, for life, I'm going to get 10% extra APR on this $3,900 worth of tokenized gold. So that's basically $390 per year in extra income that I'll get on top of earning LP fees from swaps and earning the normal 3 to 20% APR based on the tokenized gold correlation that LeoStrategy pays. So again, I think that they really learned a lot from the last ones and they applied those things to this one. And what we saw with the last launches is like LeoStrategy's model works and it works really well. And tokenized Tesla is starting to reach its peg. Surge is kind of slowly holding its ground, even though the crypto market is crumbling around us. Surge is holding its ground. Tokenized Tesla is more than holding its ground. It's actually grinding towards the peg. And I think tokenized gold is like the ultimate, like, okay, we learned everything we needed to learn from those. Obviously, they're going to keep learning and whatnot, but they applied those learnings to tokenized gold's launch. And I think this one is going to be like right at par, and it's going to trade at par. And I don't think it's going to deviate from par. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, the staking, like I said, the LPing, the incentives for hodling versus flipping. All of these things are major factors in making the post-sale launch hit peg faster than the other assets. So, like I said, I don't think LeoStrategy's failed in any sort of way, but I do think that there's a lot of things that need to be learned in a live market environment. So Surge, in my opinion, should have reached peg way faster, but I do think that because there's no real like staking mechanics and whatnot, basically all the Surge is circulating. So anyone who wanted to buy the presale and flip it for a profit is able to do that. And then obviously with the crypto market crashing, people then take the profits and they put them into other assets that are down. So really interesting. But I think all of this stuff is playing out, kind of how it should, where LeoStrategy, launches new assets and they learn and they make each new asset launch better than the last. And that's what you should expect from any company. I think any business, any project should be, hey, we're going to launch and we're going to iterate. And I'm a big fan of iteration. So anyways, this got long-winded, but I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and a little bit of me blabbering about the presale. I do believe that this is going to be extremely successful. I'm definitely looking forward to more RWAs from LeoStrategy. Keep in mind that these things are not meant to be huge. So I think the next pre-sales are going to be pretty small. They were kind of testing the waters with tokenized Tesla and tokenized gold to see where the market is at for these things. But I think the next pre-sales will be extremely limited. So if you want to get into them, I assume that they're going to go really fast. And I've kind of gotten a little bit of a sneak peek behind the curtain of how the next ones are designed. They are designed to be like hyper limited. If you want to get in on day one, and then the pre-sales intended to end in 7 days or less. And I think they're going for faster turnaround time. The vision is that there's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these RWAs. The vision is that there's hundreds of these things, over the next couple of years. So it's going to take time, and they're going to roll them out one by one. But the goal here is to create an entire marketplace of RWAs, and that's what LeoStrategy is building. And all these RWAs are profitable for LeoStrategy. So they're launching the market makers, which I assume are about to be launched now that the pools are live. They're launching these market makers. The market makers generate profits, and then LeoStrategy utilizes those profits to buy Leo every single day. So these RWAs are not just about like, hey, we're doing a presale. It's like we're doing a presale to spread the tokens as much as possible to early hodlers. And then once they're spread out, then we can go live to the market. And the sooner we go live to the market, the faster we get to profitability. So what you'll notice is like the Surge presale lasted a very long time. And then the TTSLA presale was much faster, was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then the tokenized gold presale was only 7 days. And I think the next RWAs might even be a lot faster than that. And the goal is, well, these products are profitable, but they're profitable once the presale's over. So really, LeoStrategy wants to spread the tokens as quickly as possible to the early buyers, and then get to the point where these tokens are live in the market, because then LeoStrategy is generating profits from the market makers, and then using those profits to buy Leo every day. So I'm excited for tokenized gold. I think it's giving us a lens into what comes next, and I think it's going to be really interesting to watch what happens with the post-sale environment. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped you learn how to LP for these things. And like I said, you've got 48 hours now to LP tokenized gold with USDC. And if you do that, then you'll get that 10% APR boost, and you can go through the tokenized gold launch posts for more information on that. But go LP, go get the 10% yield boost. As you can see, I'm doing it. So I've now got about $8,000 in this pool, and I don't intend to remove it. Obviously, if you remove any amount of this LP, then you lose the 10% boost. So I intend to fully stay in this and just keep collecting my yield every day. It's awesome seeing my tokenized Tesla yield roll in every day. I did the math. I'm making about $1,000 a month in yield from tokenized Tesla. I'm obviously the largest holder of that. Tokenized gold, I think I should make a few $100s a month in yield, something like that, with all the boosts. I haven't run the math yet on it. But with all the boosts, with the LP also paying me, it's gonna be pretty fun. And then there's gonna be more RWAs to come. And then I've obviously got my credit spread strategy that I'm doing too. So this is an era of abundance for Lions. I am like very excited about all this stuff, and it obviously converges very well and is very synergistic to what we're building with LeoDex. So now LeoDex is able to offer RWAs that are backed by Leo that benefit Leo, and it's only possible because LeoDex is able to partner with LeoStrategy on these things. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys on Threads.